Luther King Jr. gave his famous "I Have a Dream" speech. It addressed racism and his dream that everyone would be treated equally.
But people are still discriminated against today for all sorts of things: race, religion, gender identity. And sometimes that discrimination leads to a hate crime. Today, the College of Idaho, along with the Wasmuth Center for Human Rights, the U.S. Department of Justice, and the FBI, they hosted an event called United Against Hate.
Abby Davis was there, and Abby, this was part of a broader initiative nationally to really try to combat hate crimes and teach people more about inclusivity and acceptance.
That's right, and it was the DOJ's second large public event in Idaho, going over what hate crimes look like in the state. Speakers went over the definition of what a hate crime is and how people should report them. The DOJ has held other smaller events with local leaders, but it decided to broaden its horizons and invite people from around the Treasure Valley. Words are powerful.
I have a dream.
Especially those 4 words, made famous by Martin Luther King Jr.'s 1963 speech. A speech College of Idaho student Bezawi Kasaye drew inspiration from for a poem she performed during Monday's United Against Hate event.
I have a dream that I will not be assassinated from a place of hatred just because of my looks and my dreams appearing too big for my skin, unrealistic for where I was born, unconventional dreams I carry with me in my home.
Kasaye was just one of several speakers. College of Idaho hosted the event with the Wasmuth Center for Human Rights, the U.S. Department of Justice, and the FBI.
So we wanted to bring the community together to have a conversation about creating a community where hate crimes don't even happen in the first place.
But FBI data shows hate crimes in Idaho are on the rise. In 2021, 42 hate crimes were reported, most motivated by race, ethnicity, or ancestry. Although that number is similar to 2020 statistics, it's double the number of hate crimes in 2019. In fact, just 4 days ago, Matthew Allen Lehigh was indicted with a federal hate crime for an alleged assault against members of the LGBTQ+ community in October of last year. U.S. Attorney for Idaho Josh Hurwitz says a lot of hate crimes go unreported.
Historically, folks in marginalized communities, folks in minority communities, haven't had those strong connections with law enforcement, for good reason sometimes, based on how law enforcement has treated them in the past.
Hurwitz says sometimes that distrust of law enforcement can lead to people not feeling comfortable to report a hate crime. Today's event, which was open to everyone, tried to bridge that gap and encourage people to report anything hateful.
Even if something isn't necessarily prosecutable at the moment, it could lead to a larger investigation or a pattern that we can identify in order to address the threat. People can have whatever ideology they want, but once they become violent or once they become harassing or intimidating, that's where law enforcement can get involved.
When we experience discrimination and hate, it's very easy to just divert into hating everybody else in return. It's very easy to just act the same way people treat you.
Kasaye says that doesn't solve anything, a key point she illustrated through her poem, because love and kindness go a long way in the fight against hate.
My skin has seen it all as it crossed the Atlantic and knows pain, growth, revolution, harassment, racism, discrimination, but it also knows love, community, hustle, perseverance, nature, kindness, and humility.
People can report hate crimes through their local law enforcement agencies. Once they take that step, Morgan O'Brien, the U.S. Attorney's Office, encourages them to then report it to the FBI.
After local law enforcement. Oh,
yes.
Her poem, just so powerful and profound. But Abby, important to note that they also want people to report these crimes, even if they can't prosecute them, even if they don't go so far as to be illegal and to be crimes, even if they're just hate incidents, as they call them, because it helps with data collection.
Yeah, it goes into a database, so we all
Yes.
know kind of if this is a trend that's going upward or it's going downward.
Exactly. All right, Abby, thank you. We appreciate it.